Good morning and thanks for tuning in to Northwest News. This week we'll look at the St. Jude Bearcats Cut Loose event, a Northwest art exhibit, and more. You're watching Northwest News.
Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to Northwest News, the show where we provide the latest coverage on the Northwest campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Wiley Ray.
And I'm Skyler Stamps. We want to welcome back Bearcats and hope everyone had a great spring break. Personally, I went to Kansas City, got to watch the Iowa State Cyclones in the Big 12 tournament. Had a little day trip to Des Moines, spent time with family and friends, so I had a good one. Wiley, what did you do?
I had a good spring break as well, Skyler. I spent a lot of time with family and friends, but also made a trip over to western Iowa where I spent the day at the Louse Hills State Park, as well as traveling through some of the nature centers that they had along the Missouri Valley. So a great spring break to enjoy the warm weather and the great Iowa scenery. Yeah,
well, we'll take a look at what other viewers and Northwest faculty did over their spring break later in the show, but last week before spring break, two organizations put together their annual Bobby-Palooza event.
Northwest News reporter Zac Scott has more on the turnout of the event.
As the academic week slowly closed for students Thursday before spring break, Wellness Services and the University Police Department wanted to make sure that Northwest students stayed safe with the Bobby-Palooza event. Wellness Services and the UPD hosted an event for students outside the JW Student Union where students could take caution during spring break by getting a passport. Once you have the passport, you can visit each booth which has a safety like credit card management, mental health services, and alcohol safety. Once the students had talked with each booth, students could turn in their passports at the grill and get a free lunch with a side of safety. This has been Zac Scott with Northwest News.
Thank you to the University Police Department and to Wellness Services for hosting this fun event for students.
I'm sure some students were ready to cut loose and get ready for an eventful spring break, but one organization is asking students to cut loose from something they don't expect: their hair.
The St. Jude Bearcats held their annual Cut Loose event, and Northwest News reporter Micah Stolley has more on the event.
The Cut Loose event is an annual event hosted by the St. Jude Bearcats organization to give students the opportunity to donate hair to children in need. Students who registered by February 27th were able to donate a minimum amount of 8 inches of hair, but students were invited to donate as much as they wanted to. All hair was welcome at the event, no matter the dye or color. The donated hair is then given to the nonprofit organization called Children with Hair Loss, who provide human hair replacements at no cost to children and young adults with medical-related hair loss. The event also allows donors to choose who gets to cut their hair, along with getting a free t-shirt and white flower. The St. Jude Bearcats co-events chair Lauren Thompson explains why students would want to donate their hair.
St. Jude is a children's research hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, and all of the families that go there, any of like the patients or anything like that, the families never get billed while they're there, so they pay for their housing, anything that they're going to need, and the treatments as well. So any donations that they get go straight to the kids.
The St. Jude Bearcats is an organization on Northwest that works to raise money throughout the school year to help fund the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is a hospital located in Memphis, Tennessee, and treats children with cancer and other terminal illnesses. St. Jude's mission is to advance cures for pediatric diseases through research and treatment. 82 cents of every dollar goes directly to funding the current needs of St. Jude and their patients. St. Jude Bearcats President Callie Spoonoggle explains how these events help the St. Jude Research Hospital.
So during all these events, we always collect donations. We fundraise for the events. With Colden, it's really kind of our bigger fundraising event because to be able to jump into Colden, you have to be nominated. And then once you're nominated, then you go through your fundraising process, and the top 10 fundraisers are able to jump into Colden.
St. Jude Bearcats hosts events throughout the year and invite students to attend their events like the Colden Pond Plunge and the Cut Loose event. Reporting for Northwest News, I'm Micah Stolley.
A great event hosted by the St. Jude Bearcats, and it looked like a great turnout from the students.
Shout out to those who participated in this event and donated their hair to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Looking ahead, Northwest held an art exhibit over at the Fine and Performing Arts building on the Northwest campus.
When we return, Northwest News reporter Reece Hill shares with us more about where the inspiration for the art came from. You're watching Northwest News.
Here at Tower Yearbook, we are a dedicated staff of photographers, designers, copywriters, and practicum students.
Our staff is a student-led, student-run media outlet, producing a book with over 300 pages. Be sure to pop out at any of our portrait or distribution events.
So stay tuned to our social media to see what's up.
So you want to know how to be creative? I think I know some people.
Here at KNWT,
We know a thing or two about creativity.
Whether that be weekly shows, promos, or social media.
We got you covered.
We write, film, and edit.
To bring creativity to all of our work.
I mean, our national awards speak for themselves.
So if you want to know how to be creative,
We can show you.
Creative Services.
thank you for sticking with us and welcome back to Northwest News. Over at the Olive Duluth Fine Arts Building, several students were able to showcase their hard work.
Northwest News reporter Reece Hill tells us more.
11 seniors were celebrated at the Olive Duluth Art Gallery with an exhibition of a few of their works in preparation for the final senior showcase. Those in attendance were treated to a free viewing of the paintings, sculptures, and drawings while getting to ask the artists any questions about their works directly. I had the opportunity to get to know one of these featured seniors, Cooper Hovius, who had 2 paintings from his It's a Still Life collection on display. Hovius says he finds value in being able to better himself through his art.
I think it's important everybody needs to have something that they pursue, like long term, like have something you can always be getting better at. And I wanted to be something creative, seems like some way you can express yourself. I mean, I think that's good for anybody to do. This is just my way of doing it, I guess. I just take it a little more seriously than an average person, I guess.
Anyone interested in viewing any of Hovius or the other art students' works can visit the BFA exhibit that will be open from April 11th through May 2nd in the Fine Arts Building. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Reece Hill, reporting for Northwest News.
What a job well done by these senior art students as they prepare to graduate and launch into their artistic careers.
The Art Gallery's 2024-25 schedule concludes with an Artaxis ceramics exhibition March 24th through April 18th. And following that, there will be a final exhibit featuring work created by Northwest art students through May 2nd.
Coming up, we will check out some highlights from last week's edition of the Missourian with managing editor Hannah Claywell. You're watching Northwest News.
KZLX is a student-run radio station where Northwest students have complete freedom during their shifts. KZLX also hosts mini radio shows such as Nerdmageddon, Revive, Day-to-Day Picks, and more. To learn more, visit kzlxfm.com.
Hey, you.
Me? What?
Can you cook?
I think.
Can you break a world record?
I bet I could try.
Can you take on the wildest, most viral trends?
I think so. Well, in KNU, we take on the challenges and trends you're dying to try out. Whether it's physical, mental,
red light,
or just downright crazy.
green light.
Think you have what it takes? Tune in Thursdays at noon to find out. Can you?
Welcome back to Northwest News, the place where you can find news and whereabouts on what's happening in the Northwest and Maryville community. Thanks for sticking with us.
Last week, the Northwest Missourian included coverage about how religion is celebrated in the community and through Northwest sports. Managing editor of the Northwest Missourian, Hannah Claywell, tells us more.
Thanks, Skyler and Wiley. In this week's issue of the Missourian, we will take a sneak peek into how religion is celebrated in the community and through Northwest sports. Maryville's over 6 square miles is home to 20 religious buildings celebrating over 9 different non-denominational and other Christian denominations, also including other religions celebrated by Northwest students or small groups within the community. Maryville was founded in 1845, and the first church to be established in Maryville was First Christian Church in 1868. The community has since grown to offer the practice of multiple religions and become what it is today. Each place of worship has its own way of reaching the community, whether through open events, volunteer work, or simply advertising itself as a welcoming space. First Presbyterian Church pastor Joel Whiteside said there is a variety of work done by his church to involve itself in and serve the community. Pastor Joel Whiteside says, "I think it's important for a church to be very sensitive of its context, its community, and the nature of that community, and to be able to see it clearly and to hear the voices of those that are not being heard." Next, we take a look into how religion is celebrated through Northwest sports. For Northwest junior softball player Amara Love, it's a moment of calm amid the chaos, a reminder that the outcome of the game isn't the ultimate goal. The field or court for many student athletes isn't just a place for competition, but for spiritual growth. Amara Love says, "We pray before games. You can just see how welcoming everybody is, no matter what level they're at or what they know about being Christian. But as a team, you can see that we prioritize that." Senior Kaylee Keston has learned to balance the fast-paced world of being a college athlete as well as being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, finding strength in her faith to navigate her challenges on and off the court. When Keston came to play basketball at Northwest, she found that with busy schedules, academics, and friends, it was hard to keep dedicating Sundays and her time to rest and her religion. She leaned on different campus organizations like Fellowship of Christian Athletes to help center herself back into her faith. Kaylee Keston says, "FCA taught me that and taught me to find my identity solely in Christ and that we're here for a purpose, and God has a plan for us. There's a million things in our lives, but ultimately our goal is to be here to spread the gospel and to spread His word and serve others." Freshman Delton Davis has always had faith at the core of his life. Raised in a Christian household, Davis has attended church ever since he was a little boy, going to Sunday school. As he has aged, his beliefs as a Protestant has grown. He played football at Maryville High School, where being a spoof hound allowed him to form meaningful religious connections. At Maryville, the team would pray before and after games and encourage post-practice Bible studies. The foundation of faith on the field has continued to stick with Davis as he has transformed into a collegiate athlete, especially when dealing with slumps and setbacks. Delton Davis says, "Without my faith, there's no doubt I wouldn't even be in this place today." Whether in softball, football, basketball, or other sports, athletes all over Northwest campus have something in common: faith. For more on these stories or to read the full version of stories, be sure to read this week's issue of the Missourian. Now back to your Northwest news anchors, Skyler and Wiley.
Thank you, Hannah, and to the staff of the Northwest Missourian for providing us coverage on these stories.
Also, before we go, we asked you all to send us photos showing how you spent your spring break, and we got a few that wanted to share how it went.
Northwest Associate Professor of Mass Media Bob Berglund visited Miami, Florida over spring break.
For Northwest student Joey Vanderlinden, he traveled to Colorado where he went hiking in the Rocky Mountains. This was Joey's first time visiting Colorado and would love to go back again soon.
Also, Izzy and Lauren made a trip to Colorado over spring break. They went to the Garden of the Gods as well as a couple other hikes in the mountains. Also, some of our crew and Northwest News reporters enjoyed their spring break by traveling and being with family and friends.
Reporter Zac Scott showed a friend around Kansas City where they scaled the Liberty Memorial and saw the Red Baron exhibit at Crown Center. Reporter Micah Stolley traveled to Des Moines, Iowa over the break. He and his family went to cheer on his brother, whose high school basketball team made it to state.
Northwest News' technical director Gabe Chadwick traveled to Omaha, Nebraska to see the musical Hadestown at the Orpheum.
And our Northwest News producer Shelby Singleton traveled to Springfield, Missouri to visit friends and to make a stop at Buc-ee's. Well, that's all the time we have for Northwest News. Be sure to go to the description below to rewatch certain sections of our show.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the latest news and updates. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to catch you here next week as we go live every Sunday at 11 a.m. This has been Northwest News. Thanks for watching.